Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. So today is session 3 in the series of Prelims practice questions on art and culture. I am Poorti Garg, a national memory champion and a UPSC mentor. So we have started with chapter 1 of NITIN Singhania. In this series, I'll help you master NITIN Singhania through MCQs because the mock questions help you retain the facts better. So the first chapter is Indian architecture, sculpture and pottery. In the first session, we covered Harappan art and architecture. In the second session, we covered Mauryan art and architecture. Today is session 3 and we will be covering Post-Mauryan art and architecture. I am covering this book with the help of 10 questions daily. So let's begin with question number 21 today. And yes, please like the video if you are finding them helpful. Share them with your friends and subscribe the channel if you have not done it yet. So the 21st question is, which of the following statement or statements is or are correct with respect to the rock-cut caves in post-Mauryan period? And yes, if you have not watched the previous 2 sessions, please have a look to them so that you can be done with this NITIN Singhania book before your prelims. So you will not be in a need to skip this topic. Most of the students skip NITIN Singhania or skip complete art and culture in the fear that you will not be able to retain it. Right, but now you can very well retain all the facts with the help of questions. So please watch those sessions as well. So the first statement is, this period, that means the post-Mauryan period, saw the development of chaityas. Second, the caves had open courtyards and stone screen walls to shield from rain. Third, the caves of this period were marked by absence of human and animal figures. The options are 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, or all the above. So pause the video, take your time, solve the question, and yes, do not forget to mention your score in the comment section below. Tell me how many questions you were able to do correctly, right? So now I am telling you the answers here. First statement is correct. This period saw the development of chaityas. Now see, there were 2 types of rock-cut caves in post-Mauryan period. One was viharas. They were already established or already developed in Mauryan period. But the chaityas, they started to develop in post-Mauryan period. The viharas, they were residential halls, residential places. And the chaityas, they are the prayer halls. Right. So this statement is correct. Second statement is also correct. The caves had open courtyards and stone screen walls to shield from rain. The third statement is wrong because the caves of this period were not marked by absence, but they were decorated with animal figures, human and animal figures. So the correct statement is, the caves of this period were decorated with human and animal figures. But in the statement, in the question, it says absence of human figures. So this statement is wrong. The correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. So you can see here, chaitya is shown over here. So these chaityas, they were mainly quadrangular chambers with flat roofs and they were used as prayer halls, right? Moving to question number 22. Consider the following statements with reference to the stupas in the post-Mauryan period. First, they become larger and more decorative in this period. Second, wood was increasingly used in place of stone and brick. Third, the torrents of this period had Hellenistic influence. Which of the above given statement or statements is or are correct? 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 2 only, or 1 and 3 only? Pause the video, solve the question, take your time. I am telling you the answer. The first statement is correct. The stupas in post-Mauryan period became larger and they were more decorative. Second statement is wrong because if you remember, wood was very immensely or increasingly used in Mauryan period. Chandragupta Maurya's palace, etc., they were made up of wood. But in post-Mauryan period, stone was mainly used. So the correct statement is that stone was increasingly used in place of wood and brick. So this second statement is wrong. Third statement is correct. The torrents of this period had Hellenistic influence. So 1 and 3 only, D option is the correct answer. This is the correct answer. You can see beautiful torrents, more decorative, more larger stupas, right? Question 23. Also, yes, if you remember over here, the torrents, the Shunga dynasty introduced the ideas of torrents as beautifully decorated gateways to the stupas, and these torrents were intricately carved with figures and patterns, and they were evidence of Hellenistic influence. So Shunga dynasty basically introduced this idea of torrents in as more beautiful decorated gateways, right? And they were intricately carved, etc. Now, question 23. Which of the following schools of sculpture is also known as Greco-Indian School of Art? This is a very simple question. Mathura School, Gandhara School, Amaravati School, or none of the above? So the correct answer over here is option B. Gandhara School is also known as Greco-Indian School of Art, and this school of art developed in the western frontiers. As you can see, Greco-Indian, that means they had influence of Greek and Roman sculptures. So naturally Greece is in the west of India, so it developed on the western frontiers of Punjab near modern day Peshawar and Afghanistan. So Gandhara School, option B is the correct answer. Now, consider the following statements in context to the Gandhara School of Sculpture. Let's see in detail now. The sculptures of the school were made using bluish grey sandstone. It had influence of all three religions, that is Hinduism, Jainism and Buddhism, and it was patronized by Kushan rulers. Which of the following statement or statements is or are correct? 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, or 1 and 3 only? Take your time, pause the video, solve the question. I am telling you the answer. The first statement is correct. The sculptures of the school were made using bluish grey sandstone. Second statement is wrong because this school had mainly Buddhist imagery and this was influenced by the Greco-Roman pantheon. That's why it was known as Greco-Indian School of Art. Okay, so it had mainly Buddhist influence, Buddhist imagery. And third statement is correct. It was patronized by Kushan rulers. So 1 and 3, D option is the correct answer. 1 and 3 only. Here it is C. I have made a mistake over here. Basically it is 1 and 3 and this is 2 and 3. So C option is the correct answer, 1 and 3. Right, 1 and 3 only. So I hope you can see this. And yes, there were two types. In the beginning they used bluish grey sandstone, but in the later times mud and stucco was also used. Okay, as you can see, the latter period saw the use of mud and stucco. Now, which of the following is or are the features of Buddha sculpture from Gandhara school? First statement, he is shown in a spiritual state with wavy hair. Second, Buddha is seated in the position of a yogi. Third, he wears lots of ornaments and a tight dress. 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, or 1, 2 and 3 only. So pause the video, solve the question, take your time. I am telling you the answer. He is shown in a spiritual state with wavy hair. This is correct. Buddha is seated in the position of a yogi. This is also correct. But this statement is wrong because he wears very few in ornaments. So fewer ornaments, and even he does not wear a tight dress. He wears tight dress in Mathura school and not in Gandhara school. So this statement is wrong. We have 1 and 2 only. That is B option is the correct answer. He wears fewer ornaments, and yes, the eyes are half closed as in meditation. You can see in the figure, the eyes are half closed and a protuberance is shown on the head, which is signifying the omniscience of Buddha. So 1 and 2 only, that is B option is the correct answer. I have given you some additional points also, that the eyes are half closed, etc. Right? Now, consider the following statements. This school of sculpture was developed indigenously. It made use of spotted red sandstone and it was patronized by Kushan rulers. Which of the following school is being referred to in the above statement? So you have to tell these statements talk about which school. Gandhara school, Amaravati school, Mathura school, or none of the above. So solve the question, take your time, pause the video. I am telling you the answer. Mathura school is the correct answer for this statements for this question. So C option is the correct answer. As you can see over here, this school was developed indigenously. It has no influence of external culture and it made use of spotted red sandstone as you see in the figure, and it was patronized by Kushan rulers. Also, I am telling you some additional points, that this school had influence of all the three religions. Like in Gandhara school, it had mainly Buddhist influence, but Mathura school had influence of all the three religions of the time, Hinduism, Jainism as well as Buddhism. And it developed in and around Mathura, Sonk and Kankalitila, or we can say Kankalitila, right? And this place, Kankalitila, was famous for Jain sculpture. So option C, Mathura school is the correct answer. Now, select the features of Buddha of Mathura school from the following statements. He is shown in delighted mood with a smiling face. The face and head are shaven. Like in Gandhara school, he had wavy hair, but here the statement says the face and head are shaven, and Buddha is seated at Padmasana with different mudras. So 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, or all the above. Pause the video, solve the question, take your time. I'm telling you the correct answer. All the three statements given here are correct in context to Buddha of Mathura school. So D option is the correct answer. Over here, he is shown in delighted mood with a smiling face, as you can see in the image also. And the face and head are shaven. In Gandhara school, the wavy hair was shown. The hair were wavy, they were not shaven. But in Mathura school, the face and head are shaven, and Buddha is seated in Padmasana with different mudras. Also, some additional points. The Buddha is muscular over here. The body of Buddha is muscular, and he is wearing a tight dress. His face reflects grace, and also a protuberance is shown on the head, just like in Gandhar school. Right. Question 28. Identify the correct statement or statements from the following in context to Amaravati school. It was influenced by external cultures. It made use of white marbles, and it had mainly Buddhist influence. So 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, or all the above. So solve the question, pause the video. I'm telling you the correct answer. This statement is wrong because Amaravati school was also indigenously developed. It did not had any influence of external culture. It was totally indigenously developed. So first statement is wrong. Second is correct. Amaravati school made use of white marbles, and this is also correct as it had mainly Buddhist influence. So statements 2 and 3 are correct. That means option B is the correct answer. As I told you, it was not influenced by external cultures but had white marbles and Buddhist influence. Also, it developed in the Krishna Godavari lower valley, that is in and around Amaravati and Nagarjuna Konda. So 2 and 3 only, B option is the correct answer. Question 29. Amaravati school was patronized by Kushans, Shungas, Vakatakas or Satvahans. Pause the video, solve the question. I am telling you the correct answer. The correct answer is Satvahans. The Amaravati school was patronized by Satvahans. The last question for today. Identify the correct statements from the following with reference to the Amaravati school of sculpture. First statement says there is less emphasis on the individual features of Buddha. Second, the sculptures depict life stories of Buddha and the Jataka tales. 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2. Solve the question, pause the video. I am telling you the correct answer. C option is the correct answer as both the statements given here are correct. Please mark this point. Amaravati school of sculpture has less emphasis on the individual features of Buddha. And yes, the sculptures over here are very narrative. They depict life stories of Buddha and the Jataka tales. That means the previous birth stories of Buddha when he was in both human and animal form. So the correct answer is C option. So that was all for today. I hope you found this video to be very helpful. You were able to learn the points, retain the points. Tomorrow we will be discussing about Gupta art and architecture. So stay tuned. Have a good day. Thank you.